Welcome back once again to the Jorma Duran Show. I'm Jorma Duran, and yep, they gave me my own show. Can you believe that? My show is bringing all of Mid-Michigan's newsmakers, people who work in high-level positions, pillars of our community, local celebrities, and my guest today kind of checks all four of those boxes. It's pretty cool. I'm going to get to know these people a whole lot better. Not be so serious. So that's kind of the theme of the show. And along the way, we'll bring out Jorma's wheel of questions and have some fun with that. But let's get to the guest. My guest, a lot of you will recognize the name, especially if you're a Spartan into MSU football. But lately, you may recognize the face. We'll get into that and why here in just a second. Welcome, Tico Duckett. Tico.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Jorma.
Yeah, on the Jorma Duran Show. You made it. You finally did it.
I made it. Mama, I made it.
Well, a lot of people out there know about Tico's MSU football career, and we'll get into your football career, but almost for 25 years, you've been a businessman.
Absolutely. Been a janitorial guy, selling janitorial supplies since 1998.
And how did you get into that? Because, you know, football to being a businessman, how did that even get to that?
Well, I'll make a long story short. Went to state, played a couple years in the league, came back to Lansing, went to school to teach, found out they would pay me starting off about $25,000 a year, and I said no thanks. So then I went and worked for a company called Woolert, and kind of moved up through the company, became the purchasing guy, started purchasing janitorial supplies, and then the light came on. This is what I want to do. I want to sell janitorial supplies to companies like this, and it opened up Tico Duckett Distributing at the time, and my current boss said, "I'll be your first customer."
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I started selling product to him, and then it just multiplied through the state.
Tell me that moment, though, the moment you were like, "This is what I want to do for the rest of my life."
Well, it hit me. At the time, there was a gentleman named Dave Bing out of Detroit who was in business and manufacturing, and he used his sports background and notoriety, and I just felt that was something that I could do, and I did.
Yeah, and it made your parents proud.
Yeah, well, they're trying to figure out what I was going to do.
Yeah.
I didn't work for a couple of years, just trying to find that right moment, and it happened.
Because football was so important. I'm sure you thought football was going to be the rest of your life, and so there was that kind of point right there in between. What were you trying to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was, I was told since I was a kid that I would never play pro football. I mean, because you think about it, every kid, I want to play pro football. Everyone goes, yeah, what's the chances of that? So I always knew there was going to be a point that that it was done, and it happened, and I go, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
And now on the other hand, my brother, once my brother started saying he was going to be a professional player, everyone said, well, yeah, you can do it,
Yeah.
you can do it. So I always had to have a plan B, in my mind. I didn't know what it was, but I knew a plan B was coming.
Well, let's talk about football real quick because I'm a football guy.
Me too.
And I was a running back.
Yeah.
But I stopped about my, I was not a D1 guy.
Sure.
You kept going D1, and not only you become D1, you become the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year your sophomore year.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Well, it was surreal, obviously. There were times where, Big Ten Player of the Year, there's many accolades, and I don't do accolades very well.
Yeah.
I always say it's a team effort. So there's times where I'd be talking to someone, and they'll go, do you know who you are? And be like, what do you mean? Do I know who I am? And of course. So I looked at it as just something that I did, something I did well, but I never really walked around with it, on my shoulders.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you should have, because it was amazing. Because when you left, you were the all-time leading rusher, correct, for MSU?
Well, Lorenzo White's all-time.
Okay.
I was
Currently,
second.
though,
I was second. And then Javon Ringer beat me out a couple years ago. So I'm third all-time leading rusher right now.
But it's amazing. You're one of only 3 people, though, above $4,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
4,000 rushing yards.
Well, there's a reason why. I'll tell you why. Because Coach Perlis used to say, if he threw the ball one time a game, that's one time too many. He wanted to run all the time, which I wanted to run too. So it worked out.
Let's go even before MSU, high school. How good were you in high school?
I was decent in high school. I remember in the 9th grade, I got my first letter from Iowa.
Wow.
And from then on, I pretty much had a letter from every school in the country.
Wow.
And I remember going to my father saying, with a shoebox full of letters.
Yeah.
What do I do? He basically said, Tico, choose 5 schools and throw the rest away.
Wow.
And I did.
Wow.
Indiana, Pittsburgh, Western Michigan, Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
And I took visits to everywhere, to all 5, and Michigan State just felt like home and family. I felt it. It was good.
Something I don't know, where are you from? Are you from Michigan?
I'm from Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Kalamazoo. Went to
Okay.
Loy Norks High School.
Oh.
Yes.
And to see, you started MSU in 89, so would you graduate 88?
92.
Oh,
From
high
high
school.
school.
So you're
yeah.
88?
88.
Yeah?
And I came in fall of 88 here.
Now, how good was your football team in high school?
We weren't really that good.
No?
No.
You didn't carry them?
I did. I couldn't. I couldn't carry the team. No, but that showed, with the lack of talent on the team, the things that I did was what stood out. And speed is everything. At that point, I was the fastest player or runner in track in the state. So,
Wow. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
So it's not just football.
yeah, we ran track, and Kalamazoo Loy Norks, we were undefeated in all dual meets.
Oh, wow.
For all 4 years I was there, and we love track.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love track. Track complemented football.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. And so what was your 440?
Fastest 40 was 4:27.
I can't even do that on video games.
Right. But that was a God-given gift.
Yeah.
I didn't realize till I got older how fast I really was.
I was going to say, because weren't you the fastest kid in class? You
Yeah,
just
oh,
didn't.
yeah.
But it didn't really register until.
Well, it registered, but at the time I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah.
I always knew I was going to race and win. I just knew that.
Yeah.
Until I got older, and started running track at Michigan State.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh wow,
Oh, so you also ran track in
Yeah,
Michigan State.
Michigan
So
State,
what was
yeah.
your events?
The sprinting events,
100, 200,
100, 200,
relays and
two
stuff like-
relays, yeah, and then indoor was a 60.
Wow.
In the 200, and I got a letter in track too.
That's
yeah.
See,
Yeah,
look
see,
at you.
people-
See, a lot of people would not
People
know
would-
that. We
no,
all
no.
attach being a great legend running back.
Sure. No, we ran track. I ran track with some of the great Corey Pryor, Alan Haller,
Yeah.
Marcel Richardson. Those are some of the.
Alan Haller.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
now we're getting to know a whole bunch of stuff, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I didn't realize he was a track guy
he was
too.
a track guy too.
That's neat.
Yeah.
So did you talk about going and getting recruited by Michigan State? Was
Mm-hmm.
that a school kind of in the back of your mind, even growing up, that you wanted to go
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I would watch Michigan State. I would watch Michigan. They had Anthony Carter down there at Michigan that caught my eye. We had some players here, but what really caught my eye was when I took a trip and watched Lorenzo play against Indiana when he ran the ball.
Yeah.
I think it was 50 sometimes.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, I got to come here. I got to come here. And then I came here on the trip, and just the whole excitement from coming off the Rose Bowl, and everyone's feeling like family. And when I visited Michigan, I had a bad experience visiting Michigan. And that bad experience was, Tico, you're a good athlete, but we're going to win with or without you.
Yeah.
So if you come here, you're going to win, and we don't really care. We're going to win with, and I just didn't get that team feeling, didn't get that family feeling. And so I didn't necessarily like Michigan.
Now, what was rare is you did go to MSU and you were a star. You probably could have gone to the pros, or was it still at that time where you kind of played 4 years no matter what?
No, again, back then it was unheard of to leave.
To leave early.
I mean, I think Magic left early, and people really were upset that Magic left and, didn't spend his 4 years or whatever. But I remember telling my dad that, I wanted to play pro football,
Right.
but I didn't want to leave school to go play pro football. I want to have a college experience, and I did. And a good example of what I felt was one of the coaches, Mora, came to me and said, Tico, why should we draft you? And I wasn't cocky, but I was a little bit confident and said, well, I have over 5,000 yards. And he goes, whoa, that's like a used car to me. And I thought then, wow, I get it. I got a lot of miles on me.
Yeah.
And, Jerome Bettis, Jerome Bettis.
Oh, of course.
His whole career at Notre Dame, he had a total of 1,500 yards. So by the time he went pro, it was like a new car.
Yeah.
So I wanted to spend my time at State. I wanted to do the things, the accolades, and achieve what I achieved at State. And then if I went pro, I did.
Yeah. I'm going to get into that a little bit, but I want to talk about NIL. We were talking about it just a little bit. And in case you don't know, everybody, that's, college players get paid now. And not just get paid, they get paid.
Paid.
NIL probably would have changed your life. You'd have been
Absolutely.
making $1 million.
At least,
Yeah.
you know, especially my junior and senior year, I was a Heisman candidate 2 years in a
100%.
row.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that would call for, you know, a couple of
Something.
million. Yeah.
Now, are you mad, jealous, envious, or is it water under the bridge? Because
You
these
know,
kids,
well,
a lot of the kids, listen, you're a lot better than a lot of these kids making bank right now.
Well, you never can go back, right?
Right.
So I try not to think about it, and I couldn't imagine being 18, 19 or 19 making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know where I'd be right now,
Yeah.
you know? So I just think, you know, I'm glad the kids are getting paid. I'm glad that they, you know, that's happening, because I remember playing Notre Dame.
Mhm.
They had Rick Meyer, Bettis, Ricky Waters, all those guys that were #1 in the country. Coach Perlis just got an extension. We were on ABC Sports. It was a sold-out game. And afterwards, I got home. I had $2. I was just like, I'm thinking, am I gonna get a Whopper or a beer? I don't know with my $2. So I get getting paid. Everyone's getting paid around you. You should at least get $300-400 a week. I don't know, just something.
Now, is football still a huge part of your life in terms of being a fan and MSU? Or are you following, like, for example, Pat Fitzgerald just got hired?
Yeah.
I mean, are you on?
I'm a corporate sponsor for a football team. I follow them, go to some practices. We're trying to create a NIL collective ourselves for the running backs, and so I'm well part of it and aware of what's going on.
So because nowadays money and fame bring the recruits, brings the recruits. So you're getting involved with that, helping MSU.
I am trying to. We're in some discussions now. Obviously, with the coaching change, you got to make sure you're still, in there. But I will at some point meet coach and kind of lay down what we're working on and to see if we'll further that with him.
What do you think the decision is with Fitzgerald? Because for the fan that doesn't have any connections, boy, they made a quick move.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. I think it's a great hire just because I watched him coach for 17 years and I watched him successful.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really wanted was someone with a Spartan background.
Yeah.
Because this is a joke, by the way, but sometimes I think coach will be coaching against Northwestern with our green on and then have his purple tie under it,
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Right, exactly.
Because there's always an allegiance in one way or another.
Right.
Right?
I mean, he went to school there, graduated from there, was an All-American there, coached for 17 years there, so that's the only part that I just have to take me a minute to get past, that, he's been down the road for so long that I always got to coach against him.
And MSU in general, are you still a part of that community, I'm assuming?
Yeah, absolutely. I do certain things with the university, and we clean some of the university buildings.
Yeah.
And I just, I'm part of the football program, if you would say, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this new era.
100%. Well, we're not done. We're going to take a quick break, and after the break, we're going to get into the Jorma's Wheel of Questions.
Jorma's Wheel of Questions.
Good luck. All right, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the Jorma Duran Show. Having a great conversation with Tico, and he is now going to be part of the Jorma's Wheel of Questions. Let me tell you a little bit about this stupid thing. A lot of money was put into this show, as you can tell. The handwritten wheel. But we've got all-time faves, first, deep, would you rather, you pick, this or that, places, random, high school, and ask Jorma anything.
Uh-oh.
Well, it'll be self-explanatory once you
Sure.
spin. So spin. Let's see what you get. Go ahead and spin that wheel.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right.
I know.
and
Finally, you made it.
I made it. Mom, I made it again. Okay. All right.
All right, what'd you get?
I don't know.
You pick. So you get to pick whatever category. So again, that's this or that, places, random, high school. You can ask me anything. All-time faves, first.
All right. I'll ask you something,
All
Jorma.
right, let's do it.
I'll ask you something. What was your dream in high school as far as where did you want to be when you grow up?
In career-wise?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great question. I love talking about this. You know why? Because it's about football.
All right. Okay.
I get to kind of talk about me a little bit. Pueblo, Colorado, went to school there. Our team was good. Our high school team was good. We were ranked for one. We won the state championship and lost the state championship.
Wow. Okay.
And then in my senior year, ranked one, undefeated all year, and got upset in the first round.
Oh, no.
my God, tears.
You're still
tears,
feeling
tears.
it, aren't you?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
still feeling it.
But my junior year, starting tailback, started off hot. paper, a lot of pub.
Sure.
I blew my knee out, man.
Oh,
I blew
no.
my knee out. So I'm rehabbing. Local news there, KOAA TV, which was my first TV job, by the way. They had a sports guy. His name was Guy Gurton.
Okay.
And my dad and I would make fun of him all the time because we thought we knew sports way better than him.
sure.
And he was just this goon.
Sure.
And while I'm watching this, in my whole sophomore and junior year, I'm doing morning announcements on TV, and I'm the PBS public station host for the
wow.
auction. So I'm doing all these TV
Yeah,
things,
sure.
but not putting anything together. I'm just trying to be popular is basically what that was about.
Sure.
And then we're watching Guy Gurton, and my dad was like, you know what? You should do that for a living. And that was the first time in my life I thought, oh, right.
Wow.
Right, because I'm not playing ball right now.
Sure.
I was going to come back my senior year, but that totally struck a nerve. The following day, again, this is in the 90s, early 90s. You didn't have the online
Oh, yeah.
connections with college. So I got this huge book of all the colleges and had the top, I went to, what's the top 5 schools in communications? Went Syracuse, Arizona State University. And I was like, Syracuse is too far. I'm going to ASU. So
Good for you.
I applied only one school, ASU. I knew where I wanted to go. I've never wavered, man. I wanted to be on TV
Yes.
since that second. And where I wanted to end up, that was still up in the air. I think in TV, we're all trying to get to the biggest market.
Sure.
And be the biggest guy in the world. So you break a lot of hearts and you leave a lot of people behind because you're trying to get to where you're going to get.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then I got to Chicago, got to be a national correspondent, and then it was time to shift the chapters. I had done mine, and so when I guess answering your question where I wanted to be, at that point I was just trying to get married, find someone,
Right.
and wherever she wanted to go.
Sure, that's
and
where
so
you
she was born in Owasso, and here I am.
There
Here
you
I'm
are.
in
And now you
mid-Michigan.
got your own show.
I know. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe that?
No, you can't.
So I think where I wanted to be, somewhere doing this job.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't want to do anything else.
That's awesome.
I got out of it for a short little bit during the Great Recession. I became a spokesperson, and it was the greatest job of all time. I couldn't wait to leave. I wanted to get back into
Yeah.
TV.
Well, I always tell people, do something you love,
Yeah,
because then it doesn't become work.
100%.
It doesn't become work. It's something you enjoy doing.
And I tell my kids all the time, I can't wait to come to work. Like
Sure.
today, I
Yeah.
get to come to work and
Right.
talk to Tico Duckett.
Absolutely.
Which, by the way,
I'm
he
the
and I
same
kind of
way.
have an inside joke because we met for the very first time, about a month ago,
Yeah,
right?
about a month. Yeah.
And I look across the room. I'm like, oh my God, there's Tico Duckett. Oh my God.
And I do the same thing.
I know. He's walking up to me, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "You're Jorma Duran. I watch you all the time." I'm like, wait a minute. I watch you all. What are you saying?
Right,
dude?
right.
That's,
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't either. I'm on your show now.
I know.
How'd that happen?
We're getting to know you, too.
Yeah.
Now you're getting to know me,
Right,
too.
right.
My
Love it.
backstory.
I might have to be your co-host.
I know. Hey. Hey, this show's only going to get bigger and better now.
Sure, absolutely.
But let's talk about, going to work and loving what you do. Let's go
Sure.
back to what you do because 25,
Yeah.
4 years now.
Sure.
And I got some breaking news. This may air maybe after the announcement, but you're going to be pronounced the Business of the Year.
Yes, Duckett Brothers, Small Business of the Year, Lansing Chamber.
Man.
And we'll be at the annual dinner February 25th.
It's got to feel good. I mean, I know you're not into awards. You
Sure.
told me earlier that's
Yeah.
not really, but that's got to feel
Yeah,
good.
It does, and like I said earlier, I'm usually don't like awards. Like, for example, you get most valuable player in a team, and
Yeah.
you're not the one blocking, you're not the one. I mean, but then you get the most valuable. But this award will be special simply because it's the first time that my brother and I get the same award,
Yeah,
and so it's gonna be a little special.
it is.
Yeah.
And he's your partner at work.
Partner.
Now, you
Yep.
started the company by yourself, correct?
Yes. And then in 2008, TJ retired, and we just thought it would be a good fit to come on board.
Mhm.
And he's basically our social media person,
Okay.
our community relations person.
Yeah.
Kissing babies,
Yeah.
shaking hands. He's that person, and that's what a company needs. And I'd have to hire someone to do that. So why not have him
Yeah, because I did read he majored in communications. What did you major in?
in education?
Oh,
Yeah.
you kind of said that,
Yeah.
alluded to that
Yeah.
earlier.
When I wanted to, well, my parents are educators, my aunts, uncles, my whole
wow.
family.
Oh, wow.
And so obviously you go, what do you want to do? Well, I guess
Yeah.
I'll teach too.
Coach.
And, right, coach, teach. And then I got spoiled when I went and played for the Giants and the Redskins because
Yeah.
I made 6 figures, and I came back, and my counselor's like, you'll start out at 24, 25.
Yeah.
And I just just switched careers.
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
So.
teaching is hard, especially when you come from a situation where you were kind of making some bank.
Right.
But you just opened up that can again with the pros.
Sure.
You had about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Tell me that NFL moment because.
Well, it was just a great experience. I think the number one experience is when I was playing with some of these guys that you read about: Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor.
Oh my gosh.
You know, Mark Rippon, Art Monk, and to sit down with these guys at a lunch table and just talk.
Yeah.
And just to know these guys are normal.
Yeah.
And they're professionals. When they are on the field, you can tell they're professionals.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they do more work off the field than they do on the field. So that was probably the biggest thing that I took from the whole experience. And then that's what made me come back. And as a business owner, you have to be a professional.
Yeah.
You have to know your business.
Yeah.
And so I think work ethic is what I learned about the whole NFL experience.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because these guys didn't get there by chance.
Well, and just so
You
you
know?
all can remember, okay, when he said the guy, Art Monk, okay, nowadays we pass all the time in the NFL.
Sure.
He was the first NFL person to hit 100 catches in one season.
Yes, he was
and
the man.
He was the man.
And just to get to know him and people like that was probably the best experience.
That's interesting.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you said the first time I met with you too. Is these were professionals, and these were they were just hard. There's
nobody, you know, no fat.
No.
You know,
They're big rocks.
They're rocks, and that's why you see a lot of players now. They don't have pads anymore, or they're real little because you work your body to the point where it's hard as a rock. You don't need pads. And I learned that going to the league as well.
Now, are you still working out? Because I
am
taking
working
breaks.
out. I am working out. I got remarried, and we wanted to have kids, and couldn't biologically, so we ended up adopting 4 kids.
I read about that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was going to get too deep. That is a special story.
Oh man,
That is a special story, everybody. And we may not even get into it that much right now, but talk about it because
in a nutshell, we got certified to adopt a kid. When we got certified, there was 2 kids dropped off at Sparrow, 2 years old.
Wow.
And we brought them in, and just amazing. These kids were living homeless, and we brought them in. About 8 months later, found out they had another sister out there, 8 months old, so we ended up bringing her in. And then a year later, we were going to court to take the rights from the bio mom, and she came in pregnant.
Wow.
And so I ended up basically with 4 young kids within, a few years, and it changed my life tremendously. I lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
I had a hip replacement. I started taking care of my body. In any other way, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
I was about to, my oldest was about to graduate from high school, go to college. So I was going to be, empty nester.
Yeah.
And these kids just changed my life because I focused on them, which then helped me understand my health to live longer.
It's funny you said that because people always ask me, how you doing? I'm like, I'm just trying to stay alive because I got a lot of responsibility.
Absolutely.
My kids need me.
Sure.
But there's 4 of them all now. How old are they? Because they're all less than like 6.
Right, well, the twins are 11 now.
Okay, now 11.
11, 9, and 8. Yes. And they're just, they're kids. They're kids.
Nonstop, I bet.
Yes, nonstop.
Wow.
And it's good, though.
Now, you were talking about your health. Talk about like you said, you were a used car by the time you got to the NFL.
I got a couple of new hips, both new hips.
Is all that from football?
All that's from football.
Wow.
Just getting hit. And, I had broke my hand as in a Japan Bowl. But other than that, I'm pretty healthy, I'm very healthy.
And that hand injury, like you said earlier, that kind of knocked you from
First
getting
round to
draft.
no round.
Man.
Yeah, and that, things happen.
Such a wild thing because I wonder nowadays with such great medical technology if they would have still drafted you.
Well, the NFL is tricky because what they did was they all talk. So they were like, hey, if you don't draft them, I won't draft them.
Yeah.
And then we can get them for cheap at the end. And that's exactly what happened. After the last pick of the draft, all 33 teams called me.
Wow.
Because it was all about money.
Yep.
We can get you cheap. We can say you're hurt.
Yeah.
And so I ended up going to New York, and that was a great experience.
Now, what made you choose? Because like you just said, every team wanted you.
Yeah.
Was it status? Was it money? Was it all of it? Coach, maybe?
What made me go to New York was at the time they had 3 running backs, Hampton, Maggott, and Tillison. And all 3 of them were holding out, so they didn't have a running back. So I thought,
Yeah.
I should go there.
Yeah.
And I went there, and I was first string, and then all of a sudden Make It came back.
Yeah.
I went to second, and all three of them came back.
Of course.
And then I was, out of luck.
Yeah.
So,
But you got that first year in New York,
Yeah.
the whole
Yep.
season
Yep.
in New York.
yeah,
What was it like?
it was great.
Yeah.
Just experiencing what it's like to be an NFL player.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I got the experience.
And then you went to Washington.
I went to
right?
Washington, was on the practice squad there, and again, just lived. I wasn't the starter. I didn't play. I was a practice squad guy, and that was a great experience for me.
Last question on the NFL. What made you decide I'm not going to do this?
I got to a point where if I'm trying to make a team,
Yeah.
then it must be time for me to be, be
100%.
done. Because I if it's time, I'm fighting to be on a team, and so I just made that decision to come back and start a new life.
Well, in terms of football, you don't have to worry because you're going to be in the Hall of Fame
Sure.
of MSU for the rest of your life.
Sure.
It's going to be hard pressed for any other person to go over 4,000 yards, especially in this era.
Right.
So it's a good thing.
Sure.
Plus, you could always say you were a pro.
Plus, I can always say I was on the
Jorma Duran Show.
Show.
And the Lansing Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year.
Yeah, that's awesome too.
This may be one of the better years.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 2026. Let's knock on wood. Be a great year. Be a great year.
Well, we're running out of time. Wow, that 28 minutes went real quick.
Sure did.
We only had to go to the Jorma's Wall, ring a
One
question
time.
one time.
One time.
And you didn't even answer one
And I
question.
I love it.
See, yeah, you know how to do it. You know how to do things. Well, man, I appreciate you coming
hey,
on
I
my
appreciate-
show,
yeah,
and
thank you.
we may have to bring you back.
Sure, and good luck with it.
Yeah, I appreciate
this
it.
is special.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and thanks for watching the Jorma Duran Show. We'll see you next time.